What about that one?
Which one?
Danielle Urich.
No, that's not her.
How do you know?
Because Danielle Urich isn't spelled or pronounced anything like Cora Fartwell, which is your birth mother's name according to your birth father and the records we found at the boarding school where you were born.
Fartwell. Unbelievable.
I had a teacher in high school named Mrs. Titball.
I love that story. This Danielle Urich is living in Cumberland. That's not too far away.
True, but why would your birth mother be listed in the files if we don't know what happened under a false name?
Because she was anonymous?
Anonymous to the audience, but not to the producers of the show, surely.
If she's as clever a husky as I think she is, she would have taken precautions to protect her identity.
Don't take this the wrong way, but what makes you think she was clever?
I must have gotten it from somewhere. Having spoken with my birth father a few weeks ago, I can tell you I definitely didn't inherit any cleverness from him.
If she did give the producers of the show a false name, she could be any one of these people listed in the file of her segment.
What about the person who sent you the files? Didn't he remember anything?
No, the only person I could find from the show who still had any information was a former production assistant who stole a bunch of stuff from the office after being fired. And he didn't know anything more than what was in the files.
You couldn't locate anyone else who worked on the show?
Oh, I located them, but none of them could tell me anything. Apparently, after the show was canceled, there was a lawsuit brought against the production company by an assistant director alleging hostile work environment and a pattern of sexual harassment by the producers. The suit was settled out of court, and everyone involved signed a non-disclosure agreement which included details pertaining to the production of the series.
So what you're saying is, we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Hard to believe Patrick Stewart would associate himself with such a project. He always seemed like a class act. By human standards.
I'm not sure how involved he was. According to these records, after the first 10 episodes, he started shooting his host segments completely separate from the rest of the show.
What happened after the first 10 episodes to make him change when he shot his segments? We don't know what happened. Unbelievable.
Have you seen a purple USB drive since you've been here?
No.
I must have left it in my car. I'll be right back.
All right. Toby Benson's Junior Detectives. Excuse me? How dare you speak to me that way? You don't even know me, and even if you did. What? Listen, I don't know what your deal is, but if I were you, I'd hang up before you say something so insulting that I'll have no choice but to hunt you down and pull an apology out of your throat with my bare paws. Hello? Goddamn right.
What was that all about?
Another satisfied customer. Someone ranting about how Toby Benson promised to investigate his case, but just took his money and never did any work.
Did he give his name?
Wilbur something. Broccoli? Brackney? It was hard to tell. He was really going off.
We've never had any clients named Wilbur with the last name starting with a B.
Maybe he had the wrong detective agency run by a dog named Toby Benson.
Maybe.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
The nays have it. The motion to establish the death penalty for recording a video in portrait mode within town limits is hereby defeated for the 4th consecutive meeting.
I just feel very strongly about it.
Last item on the agenda before we move on to new business is the matter of the Thanksgiving-themed decorations at Town Hall. Wilhelmina, what have you got for us on that?
As long as everyone's still up for a decorating party this Saturday, we should have everything up by the end of the weekend.
Weren't we supposed to do that shit last weekend, baby?
Aye, I even cancelled my plans to stand outside the theatre and heckle people leaving Joker.
That would have been fun, too.
Can you imagine going to see it on week 5?
What about people who wanted to see it but were busy or couldn't afford it until week 5?
We wouldn't be making fun of them, would we?
We wouldn't?
Anyway, yes, we were supposed to have the decorating party last weekend, but the decorations were at the home of a now incarcerated former town council member, and when I went over to pick them up, I found that they'd been kept in the basement right next to her store of bubonic plague specimen, so I had to buy all new decorations.
Did you save the receipt so we can reimburse you from the town treasury?
Oh, don't worry about it. Call it a donation.
You sure?
Yeah, all the stuff I got is cheap and tacky as hell anyway.
So it will match the town's usual aesthetic?
My thinking exactly.
Okay, that's it for the agenda. The floor is open for new business.
Don't forget Sunday is Gopher Day.
Did we ever officially vote on that? I don't think we did.
We didn't, but I went ahead and organized it as an official town event anyway.
And why?
Because I think it's a good idea. And you're always saying I should show more initiative.
I'm never saying that.
Well, anyway, Gopher Day is this Sunday at 11 a.m.
Thanks for reminding me because I already forgot. What the hell is Gopher Day?
Tell him about it, Prospector.
Actually, I'm not too clear on it myself.
Well, the head of the tourism office in Punxsutawney has a pretty good handle on it, because he's called me 3 times this past week since you announced it to complain about us stealing their gimmick.
That's what you get for listing yourself as vice mayor on your Facebook profile.
I've learned my lesson on that. Next time I find myself serving in a small town's government on an interim basis after the entire previous administration was toppled in a drug trafficking scandal, I'm not telling a soul.
Okay, next time that prying Punxsutawney peckerhead calls, tell him to A, mind his own goddamn business, and B, relax, because Gopher Day is not going to be anything like Groundhog Day.
Have you altered the concept since you described it last time? Because it sounded a lot like Groundhog Day.
If it did, you weren't paying attention. Let's examine the differences. 1, it doesn't feature a groundhog.
It doesn't feature a gopher either. I'm a prairie dog.
Close enough.
That's a little offensive.
2, Groundhog Day takes place in winter and is about predicting whether or not there's going to be an early spring. Gopher Day takes place in autumn and is about predicting whether or not there's going to be an early winter.
And how does Prospector determine if there is or isn't to be an early winter?
Whether or not he sees a shadow.
That's Groundhog
That's
Day.
exactly like Groundhog Day.
You are a cultural thief.
It's different. On Gopher Day, if Prospector sees a shadow, it means more winter. It's a bad thing.
Just like Groundhog Day.
Well, okay, fine, that one element is similar, but that's it. Besides, whether we are or aren't ripping off Punxsutawney isn't the point.
What is the point, baby?
The point is to generate some positive publicity for the town, get some tourists in here, and raise some revenue, which I think you, of all people, would understand.
That I understand. How much of that revenue can I put in my pocket?
None.
Now, that I also understand, but do not appreciate.
I'll put something in your pocket.
Yeah, and if it's what I think it is, I'll still have room for my car keys.
Up your ass!
Glad we're on the same page, baby.
I was thinking, in addition to the ceremony in Town Square, we could also set up a webcam and live stream it to the town Facebook page.
You mean a live stream as in anybody from anywhere in the world could watch it?
Pretty much.
Why would anybody who isn't there in person want to watch? It'll just be me announcing whether or not I see my shadow. That don't sound very entertaining.
Live streams don't have to be entertaining. This one time I was on a stream where all it was a bunch of us occasionally chatting while we watched a drunk Scotsman slowly eat a king rib supper.
I'm not comfortable being on a live stream.
Don't be silly, you'll be fine.
But ain't we overlooking the most obvious problem with this whole thing? I can't predict what the weather's gonna be like. I'm not psychic.
Neither is Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah, he is either a brilliant showman or a contemptible fraud.
I don't know, I've heard stories.
Nobody is psychic. People just pretend Punxsutawney Phil can predict the weather because it makes it more fun.
Yeah, baby. Like how everyone went along with it when they said Andre the Giant was undefeated leading into WrestleMania 3.
Or how we all pretended not to know who You're So Vain was about.
It's about Mick Jagger, right?
Jagger?
He recorded backing vocals for it, Stuffy.
Because he's so vain. No?
Oh, Stuffy.
Morning all. Happy Gopher Day.
Happy Gopher Day.
Oi, this day belongs to only one gopher, and his name is Jesus Christ.
Was Jesus a gopher, baby?
How do I know what the fuck he was?
It's only one Sunday, Jack. I'm sure Jesus, whatever type of creature he was, wouldn't mind sharing. So, speaking of Gopher Day, where's our gopher?
Ground squirrel.
Prairie dog.
Whatever, you obviously know who I mean. Where's Prospector Jones?
He has not yet arrived.
Well, I hope he's on his way. Ceremony starts in an hour. Won't be much of a gopher day if there's no burrowing mammal to see his shadow.
So you've decided that he is going to see his shadow?
Actually, I'm thinking he's not going to see his shadow. Though maybe that's wishful thinking on my part, hoping winter weather takes its time getting here.
How the hell can you not see your shadow? You look in front. If it's not there, you turn around and look, and there it is. You can't miss it.
The point isn't whether or not he literally sees his shadow.
I see. So the shadow symbolizes something.
Yeah, the shadow symbolizes the darker parts of ourselves which we struggle to keep hidden from the rest of the world.
No, the shadow bit is just to dress things up. It's folksy horse shit.
That's a harsh critique of Jung.
But fair.
Never mind. I'm gonna call Prospector and see what's taking so long. Prospector, it's Steve. I don't know what's going on, but either call me back or get over here as soon as possible, okay? Talk to you later. That was weird.
What, baby?
It went to voicemail, and he recorded this new outgoing message.
What did it say?
I'm sorry if I let any of you down. Goodbye forever, my friends. What do you think that means?
Oh my God.
Think, baby. Was there anything in the message that could be a clue where he recorded it? Noises in the background? Anything?
Yeah, in the background. It sounded like a voice on a public address system saying, I don't know, something line to something now arriving.
Sounds like a train station, baby.
The closest train station is in Martinsburg. I'll go see if he's there.
I'll come with you.
Good luck, you guys. Hurry up. Gopher Day starts at 11.
None of that will matter if his train leaves before we get there.
Don't worry, baby. We'll take care of that. Ain't no trains going nowhere.
Aye, one bomb threat coming up.
Isn't calling in a phony bomb threat still a crime?
Phony?
Prospector,
I was hoping you'd just let me go.
if leaving is what you want, I won't stop you. I just didn't want you to go without saying goodbye.
And without providing an explanation.
If you want.
I've lived a quiet life for a long time, and quiet is how it needs to stay. I can't show my face on a live stream that the whole world could be watching. It's too much of a risk.
If exposure is what you're concerned about, I wouldn't worry too much.
Especially if it's on Steve's YouTube channel.
It's on the town Facebook page.
I know, I just wanted to get the shot in.
Wherever it's streamed to, I can't take the chance. I can't be seen.
So just tell Steve you don't want to do it. He'll understand.
Will he?
Okay, well, he'll get over it eventually. You don't need to walk away from your whole life over this.
If I stayed and said no, I'd be letting my friends down. If I just slip away without a word and never come back, I'll be letting my friends down too. But at least I won't be around to see it.
Do you think it would help if you talked about it?
Talked about what?
Whatever it is. The thing you're running away from.
Maybe it is time I get it off my chest. 60 years ago, I was working for a mining company up in Pennsylvania. I was married. We had a litter of pups. It was a good life. One day, there was an accident. A tunnel collapsed. A bunch of us were trapped inside. We were so deep, and there was no way for us to communicate with the surface. So the company figured we were goners, and there was no point in even trying to get down to us. But 2 of us survived, me and Righty. At first, we just sat there. We figured we'd run out of oxygen soon enough, and that would be it. I had my family, but all Righty had was his brother, who was on the same crew and had been killed in the cave-in.
Was his brother's name Lefty?
No, David. Anyway, after we'd been down there a while, I convinced Righty that we had something to live for after all, and it was worth at least trying to make it back to the top. It was better than just sitting down there waiting to die. So we started to dig our way up. About halfway up, Righty's heart gave out. I had no choice but to leave him behind.
I'm so sorry.
We were never that close. Anyway, by the time I finally dug my way out, it had been almost 2 weeks since the accident.
How did you not starve to death?
The cave-in happened in the morning, so I still had a full lunch pail with me. I managed to make it last for almost a week. Plus, once you get close enough to the surface, the earth provides worms and such.
Ugh, I never wanted to live that bad.
Well, I had my wife and kids to get back to. They meant the whole world to me. There was nothing I wouldn't do for them. That's why when I finally dug my way out, I never saw them again.
You didn't go back to your family?
Nobody was around when I dug myself out. Nobody ever went down into the collapsed tunnel to find us. They figured we were all dead. I left it that way.
Why?
When the mining company had me declared dead, my wife got my pension and death benefits, a monthly check enough to cover all her needs and then some for the rest of her life. If I showed up alive, that would all go away.
A husband so worried about his wife losing money that he fakes his own death so she can get his benefits. There's your precious capitalist system.
It's not mine.
And I didn't fake my own death. Not intentionally, anyway.
Prospector, even considering the money, wouldn't your wife rather you be alive?
Maybe. But trust me, she's better off thinking I'm dead.
You said this was 60 years ago. She's still alive and collecting your benefits?
Yep.
Are all prairie dogs as long-lived as you?
No, they are not. But take my word for it, she's still alive. And she thinks I'm dead. And neither of those things is going to change anytime soon. I owe her that much.
Where will you go?
I don't know. This next train goes to D.C. From there I might head south, look for work, I don't know.
Will you keep in touch at least?
You might not hear from me much, but I'll always be reachable for you. And you, Miss Millicent.
Yes, you will be. Because you're not going anywhere.
Please don't make this more difficult than it has to be.
It will only be difficult if you refuse to relent. Listen to me. I know you. I don't understand everything about what happened to you, but I understand your reasons for wanting to remain anonymous. You are my friend. I give you my word as a husky, no one will betray you, no one will expose you, no one will harm you or those you care about, as long as you're close to me.
Weird implied threats aside, she's right, Prospector. We're your friends. We love you. You don't have to run from us. You can run to us.
Ugh, so corny.
It's who I am.
It is who you are. You two are about the best friends I ever had. Also, the train doesn't seem to be in a hurry to get here.
Yeah, who knows what the deal is with that?
So, are we all leaving together? Or is this going to get ugly?
I can't do no live streams. I need to keep a low profile.
Trust me, everything will be fine.
All right, then. Let's go home.
I'm glad you're sticking around, Prospector.
Me too. I wasn't looking forward to leaving my burrow. I barely got any use out of that new game room I dug out.
If you decide to add on any more rooms, let me know. I'm always up for a good dig.
I'll remember that. I hope Steve's not mad at me for skipping out on Gopher Day.
I'll call and explain everything to him. Don't worry about Gopher Day. He'll come up with something.
Folks, please be patient. Not sure what the holdup is, but the Gopher will be along any second. Oh, you know what? This is him now. He must be stuck in traffic or something, so... Hello? Well, that's just perfect. Everybody's here. What am I supposed to do? Improvise? I'm terrible at that. Okay. I think I've got it. Yeah, sure. Tell him I'm glad he's coming back. Nothing to worry about, folks. The Gopher just called to say he sees his shadow, or doesn't see his shadow, whichever the good one is, I forget. Our revels now are ended. Please return to your homes in an orderly manner. God bless America. Hey folks, hope you enjoyed this episode, and now here's Prospector Jones with a few words for you. Prospector?
Howdy. If you like this episode, click like, share the video, and subscribe to this channel. And think about helping us to keep making these videos by supporting this channel with a monthly donation through Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/Steve Shives to become a patron.
Thanks, Prospector.
You're welcome. Sorry again about Gopher Day.
I'm over it.
So, we're good?
Of course. Though I do wish, instead of almost skipping town, you'd have just said you weren't comfortable doing the live stream.
I did. You blew me off.
Water under the bridge. Though, you do know that this is going out on the internet, right?
I never thought about that. Oh, Lord. What if I've been exposed?
Don't get ahead of yourself. You're worried about your wife seeing this, right?
Right. She can't find out I've been alive this whole time.
Okay. Well, tell me about her. What's she like?
Well, she's a prairie dog. She's impossibly old. Goes to church every Sunday. Loves the Philadelphia Eagles.
She's a football fan?
Yeah.
She's not watching.